The Puma song? No more. Let's go. Thanks, Maria. So over the course of making this entire video, I've really had to think about love and decisions a lot recently. And the interplay between the two in my life and in these stories has really made me realize how important seemingly little and mundane decisions can really be. So let me tell you a story. There once was a woman who lived in Ecuador, and she was dating this guy who she thought she was going to get married to. Turns out she has a gut feeling that she can't marry this guy. It just isn't right, and it's not meant to be. So she breaks up with him and decides to take this giant leap of faith and move from Ecuador to Florida in the United States and start a new chapter of her life. At this point, she was only 20 years old. 20 years old to move to a completely different country and start a new life is just absolutely insane to me. Like, ugh. This is where character number 2 comes in. This man was born and raised in Panama, and his father so happens to work at the Panama Canal. And through the Panama Canal, they get easy access to American citizenship. So this man's father packs him up and his whole entire family and moves them to Florida in the United States. And these two characters end up living in the same city. Huh, what a coincidence.
Shadow Realm, I'm sending you to Tampa, Florida.
And it just so happens that they start working at the same hotel. Huh. And this is where our two protagonists finally meet. And long story short, they start dating. And at this point, she's about 26 years old and the guy is about 21 years old. And they are having some troubles because the woman, she's almost going to be 27 years old. Like, she wants to settle down, get married, have kids, and move on to that next chapter of life. And this guy, he's only 21 years old. Maybe he's not at that point in life yet. Maybe he's not in that part of life. And this is the part that was troubling their relationship. Now, it just so happens that at the same time, this guy goes for a promotion, big promotion. And he goes to go interview for this position. He goes out, he interviews, and he ends up getting the promotion. He gets the position. But the only catch is that he would have to move to Maryland. Now, this is, a big decision. Like, he has family at home, he has friends at home, he has this girlfriend at home. Like, what is he going to do? And it was at this time that he decided that he was going to take the promotion. He was going to take the job, and he was going to move to Maryland. And in this decision-making process, he decided that he didn't want to do it alone. He wanted to move on to the next chapter of life, and he wanted to do it with his girlfriend. So he comes back from Maryland and he buys a ring and he proposes. Isn't that some gangster shit? That's fucking gangster. At 22, I couldn't do it. I'm fucking 24 years old right now. Jesus Christ. She says yes. They get married and they live happily ever after. They're still happily married today. They had kids and everything, and they've been together ever since. And if that guy didn't get that promotion, there's a good chance that they don't get married. Now, this is significant to my life because these two people I'm talking about are my parents, my mom and dad. They're my mom and dad. Can you believe that? That's their story. And this is the story that I have grown up with my entire life. And this is the relationship that has laid the foundation for what I believe real love is. This is the time in my life where I was single for about 4 years, which is the longest time I'd been single since I started dating. And this was the time that I started to become really bitter and negative towards relationships and love in general. Because after so many pointless, meaningless hookups and a bunch of disappointing flings, I was already starting to give up, lose hope, absolutely throw in the towel on anything relationship, anything love. I was getting to that point. And during this time, life did not hold back any punches, and I had to make a choice. I was drowning in debt. I was unemployed, and I had to make the decision. Do I stay and try to stick it out in California and make things work and dig myself into a deeper hole? Or do I take the L and move back home to Florida, move back into my parents' house? And against my prideful judgment, I decided to just take the L and move back. And when I made the decision to move back, that was a really, really low point in my life. But there was some hope. In my last week of living in California, some old coworkers of mine invited me out to go to a party with them so we could hang out one last time before I had to leave California. And so I decided, fuck it, I have nothing to lose. I might as well just go to this party, even though I really didn't want to. I was so nervous because I had to meet new people and I didn't fucking want to, and I was so depressed and I didn't want to see anyone. And against all of that, I decided to go to this party. And at this party, the people hosting this, their names are Kevar and Cierra. And we just clicked, like instantly, just clicked. I clicked with these people and I loved them from the moment I met them. Like they were so fucking cool. They were so down to earth. They were in this very long-term, very loving relationship. And just seeing that was so wholesome and so positive that in the moment, I don't think I appreciated it as much as I do now. But that was a very good thing for me to see because everyone I knew was pretty much single or in a very bad relationship. So I didn't have any good examples of anyone near me or anyone near my age with good relationships. And here were these two people. Here was this couple that was like doing it in a long-term, committed, loving relationship. And it just gave me a little bit of hope. Now, fast forward probably a year. These same people, Cierra and Kevar, are having a wedding. I see it on social media that they're getting married and they're having a wedding. And they had moved to Georgia. And I don't know why, but something inside of me said I should RSVP. So that's what I did. I RSVP'd for this wedding and I forgot about it. A couple of months go by. The wedding is a week out. And I'm freaking the fuck out. I don't know what to do. I RSVP'd. They sent me the invite. I accepted the invite and everything. I was freaking out. I was so nervous deciding whether or not I was going to go to this wedding. I was thinking, we've only met one time. Are they even going to remember who I am? Or like, anyways, the day comes where I have to decide, am I going to this wedding or not? And I decided to go. I decided to go. I drive myself the 8 hours from Florida all the way up to Georgia. I park and I'm sitting in my car and I'm so nervous to go inside. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I take a deep breath and I work up the courage to walk inside and I get greeted like I just seen them yesterday. I got greeted like I was family. It was an amazing wedding, an amazing celebration of love. Just more confirmation that love is still real and they have a place in my heart. The best part about this trip to this wedding is I got to ask them more about themselves and how they met and their relationship and how it got to this point. I think a part of it that really stuck out to me was when Cierra said, shortly after they had met and started becoming friends, she pulled him aside and said, I hope you don't find this crazy, but I just know some way or another we're supposed to be in each other's lives. And I thought that was so interesting. I go, wow, how vulnerable. Wow, what a vulnerable thing to say to someone, especially in that scenario where they had really just kind of met each other. So I asked Kevar, I asked him, well, what did you think about that? And he said, essentially, I was kind of taken aback, but I liked it. I liked the honesty. And the rest is history. On the way back from this wedding, I called this girl that I was talking to, who I had met probably 2 weeks before this. I called her just because I knew I had a lot of hours of driving ahead of me and I just wanted someone to talk to. And, I kind of liked her. So, whatever, just like give her a call. So I give her a call and we start talking and we're talking and we're talking and we're talking. We've been talking on the phone the whole time. And it was so pleasant and it was such good conversation. That was the moment where I knew in my head that I wanted to date this person. And we are dating now. So it's just so crazy to me how I started this video thinking that it was going to be these 3 love stories that really impacted me. But what it really turned out being was connecting all the dots and seeing all the decisions that had to be made in order for me to be who I am, doing what I'm doing right now in this moment. So just to iterate the point, let me show you something. Actually, I have something for you. Let me show. So wait here. I'll bring it. This is the plan for the whole video that you're watching right now. This is the entire thing. This is where it started. We started with parental love. This was the story of my mom and dad. Then it turned to friendly love. That was Cierra and Kevar. What I learned from them and their relationship. And then we moved to romantic love with my girlfriend Izzy. This is the girl that I am super in love with and I'm gonna marry. Now, if my mom and dad, if they didn't end up moving to Tampa, none of this would have happened. If they didn't start working at the same hotel, none of this would have happened. If my dad didn't get that promotion and propose to my mom, none of this would have happened. If they didn't get married, obviously, I don't end up making this YouTube video because I don't fucking exist. And if I don't fucking exist, I don't go to this party to meet Cierra and Kevar. And if I don't go to this party to meet Cierra and Kevar, I'm definitely not going to their wedding. And if I didn't go to their wedding, I wouldn't have had the phone call with my girlfriend right now and we wouldn't be dating. Was this a stretch? I don't know. As the saying goes, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. That seems to me to be the only way to live a life worth loving.